So if I could only buy 4 stocks for the rest of the year, 2025, with all the uncertainty going around, this would be them. And honestly, to take it even further, I will buy these regardless of a crash and probably even till the day I die. That is just my personal opinion. This is my personal conviction. I have my own thesis as to why for each. And of course, listen, I need to get out of the way. This is not financial advice, okay? It is simply what I am literally doing with my own money every single month, my own portfolio, and I simply just want to share it, as it was my most commonly asked question on the last video. I got some heat for it, so I wanted to share kind of a bit further of a breakdown, if you will. As you know, if you've watched this channel for a while, if you're a regular viewer, you know I am 99% indexes and or just focusing on the S&P. That is my main focus, but I do hold a little sliver of each of these, except one actually I don't own yet, but I want to talk about why. There are some cases where individual stocks are good and healthy and a good kind of addition to a portfolio. So not wasting time. Let's get right into the first one, which I've been holding for about a year and a half now. This is a Canadian company called Constellation Software. Ticker symbol is CSU. I can't explain how much I love this company. To make it too long, didn't read. It's basically the Berkshire Hathaway for software companies. Okay, founder Mark Leonard, believe it was started in the mid 90s, maybe late 90s, longer than I've been around for sure and born, but his track record is insane. He is arguably one of the world's best capital allocators. He knows where to put money to get the best return. He buys very boring software, specifically vertical software companies. So think of like schools. He buys the software that runs their computer systems. He buys the software that runs for funeral homes. He buys software companies that run for construction firms that do a specific thing, like very, very hyper specific niche of niche software companies. And I was looking at this last summer when I actually sold my place. And I've been hearing of this company for a while, but their share price was insane at the time. It is literally working up to be a Berkshire. And I was like, I don't know, like this seems crazy. But then I was like, wait a second, 41% annual return over the last decade. And I think since inception, it's returned 20 to 25% a year. I didn't believe it at first, and those numbers may be off by a few percent, give or take, but it was insane. They've made over 500 acquisitions of these companies. They're consistently generating high returns on capital. The compound annual growth, the CAGR, is insane, and their team behind it is something that I can't even fathom. They're the leaders, the owners, the more or less CEOs that he places for each company is insane, and I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. So his shareholder letters, as a side note, if you want to really digest someone, you know how big I am on biographies. Mark Leonard's shareholder letters are very, very interesting, and the way that he communicates and writes is insane. So I really, really like this company. I'm going to continue buying this company, dollar cost averaging, and continue rolling with it from there. Curious, because on the individual stock side, are you more personally of an ETF or index buyer or single stocks? People were ripping on me for not owning any gold, Bitcoin, or any other cryptos, real estate. It was pretty funny to see, but I'm genuinely curious. I got some answers last time, so comment below. And again, today's sponsor is myself. The console calls have been going extremely well. I apologize for the link, I believe, being down yesterday. There were some technical issues, but it is back up now. We've had a record week. I think that the last video helped a ton. But if you want to speak to me about freelancing and business advice, that I can 100% share with you, more specifically on the sales side, starting a business, general cash flow management, saving money, investing money, or just anything life related, book a call with me. Be happy to chat with you. And I've got some slots open for next week. So let's get into the second one. This is the second one that I don't own yet. And the keyword is yet. And I love it though. It is the SCHD. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of buddies, a lot of people in my network that own this for great, great cash flow. It is obviously a dividend stock, but it's obviously a dividend ETF. So you can't really call it a stock, but they hold hundreds of stocks of very qualified companies that pay a nice juicy dividend. Their expense ratio is dirt low. I mean 0.06% I believe it is, which is amazing, where others are ranging from 0.15, 0.3, some high threes, like 0.40. That's insane, right? So these are very diversified, very nice paying, guaranteed passive income stocks that they pay you, I believe it's 3.5%, which is amazing. You got $1 million in there. There's 35 grand being paid to you passively, whether you want to wake up and get out of bed or not. That is like the dream. So going into my 30s, the second I hit 30, I will probably be slowly buying more of this. The issue that I see with it right now is I'm 26, I'm young, and I don't want to be involved with any tax drag or anything like that. Tax drag is basically just you're going to make long-term more with the S&P growth and that compounding versus cash flow. I don't need more cash flow at this time in my life. I've got cash flow for my business. I own a little bit of different tickers and specifically like VFE that pays a 1% annual yield, which is still some money, which is great. Constellation pays a very tiny sliver, but this ticker specifically is something I will be getting involved in the next 5 to 10 years for sure, and 100% as I get into my 40s and 50s. I want guaranteed income, passive income for my family, so I don't have to worry about that being uncertain or anything like that. So I really do like SCHD. I know a lot of you guys are invested into SCHD, which is awesome. There's this huge like kind of raving fan club around them, which is really cool. I've seen the memes, I'm with it, and I like it. So this third one, I've been a customer of theirs since 2012, 2013. I bought Prime. I've been a Prime customer for a long time. I said it. I dropped it. Amazon. I hold a lot of Amazon within the indexes that I own. It's a very high percentage of holdings. And man, like I can't tell you, this is probably my favorite company, close to Google and Facebook and some of these other part of the Magnificent Seven, the Mag 7, if you will. There's a few on the Mag 7 that I have a little bit of uncertainty with. Tesla, Nvidia, I just want to see how those play out. But Amazon, guys, like I have been working on Amazon and seeing them specifically at a high level since 2017, 2018. I just had no money at the time to buy them, but I wanted to own that stock so damn bad. And I remember raving to my dad about it, saying, if there's one stock, I'm telling you, and I was doing a ton of research at the time because I had so much time on my hands. I was like, please, like you have no idea. And it's just what has happened these last couple of years. So I'll talk about it. Like people don't understand. They have this product or actually I think side company called AWS, Amazon Web Services. This is like 32%. They own 32% of the cloud market share. This does like multi-billions of revenue with higher margins than their actual retail business. People don't understand this. Then the Prime ecosystem, right? Prime has 200 million paying customers. That is subscription revenue that they don't have to go out and get a new customer every single time. They have 200 million subscriptions going through every single month. It is absurd, right? And then with Bezos' focus on customer-focused companies, I've watched every single interview of that guy, and I've talked about this on stream, where it's like there's early interviews of him, and you see it in his eyes. This guy will die proving that this company is going to be successful. And it was risky at the time, but if there's anything that the internet has proved, it's that Amazon is here to stay. I don't care what anyone says. They are a behemoth, not even talking about their other holdings like Twitch or what's the other one, the Washington Post, or anything that they're buying. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm just talking about Amazon, them as a whole, and their customer-focused business, not even counting about the logistics network. And let me end off with this final point. There was a talk that happened, I think, within the last 6 months for sure. Bezos, I could tell it's recent because I listened to the whole thing. He's jacked, he's in a sweater, and he's talking about AI. We have never been more focused, and he personally retired a couple years ago. He is now back in like almost full force mode, having AI meetings every single day with his Amazon executives. And that to me was like, yup, that is a huge signal to be like, this guy is not going to be left, away from the train, the AI, expansion in the next 10 to 20 years. I'm going all in. Like you cannot bet against this guy. If there's anything that I've learned, it's not betting against Bezos. So huge fan of that. Last one. This is one that I use this platform the most, and I think a lot of people do, and that's Google. More specifically, let's talk about their holdings, or it's called Alphabet technically, but YouTube. Like, guys, do you see YouTube going anywhere in the next couple of years? My personal opinion is nowhere. If anything, it's going to continue to get crazy big. I know they've got Gemini. They had a few AI products that kind of sucked, if I'm being honest. I'm not a big user of any of their AI products. I don't like their AI summaries, but YouTube is going nowhere. They own 90% of the global search market. They create and have stupid high cash flows, and then the monetization potential with YouTube, 2.5 billion monthly active users. Almost I don't know what the population is now, but the fact that there's a quarter of the population over that watching YouTube is insane on a monthly basis. And then of course their cloud business as well. They've got 30 billion in annual revenue. I think that's growing at a decent rate, 15, 20, maybe even more, 25%. It's insane, right? And Their actual valuation, I'd say, is very, very conservative. That's obviously what I sometimes like to look at. Again, I hold this through the indexes, but if there's two individual stocks that I will start buying very, very soon, it is Amazon and Google on an individual basis, because I'm just a huge believer in them. I am a literal customer. This is a big thing for investors. It's like, think of what you use. What do you use and buy on a daily basis and are super happy with? For me, it's YouTube/Google and Amazon. It's really dead simple. I can't get more interested in that. So again, just overall, I want diversification. I want geographic exposure. I want a little bit of like an inflation hedge. Obviously, that's why I'm interested in these, but it's fun. It's fun to see how much your money can grow. Obviously, outside of indexes, I'm still going to continue index investing for the rest of my life. But if there was, again, 4 companies that I just had to bet the rest of my savings on, it would be these, or tickers more specifically. I know SCHD, again, is a holding ETF of a lot of different companies, but I'm still a big believer. So comment below. Seriously, I want to hear what your thoughts are on all of this if you've made it this far, and I want to hear what you're holding in your own personal portfolio. So as always, guys, if you've made it this far, I want to see you win. Again, if you're interested in booking a call, but go ahead and do that. Comment below with any questions you may have, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on rolling. Thank you.